There we go. How's everybody doing? I think I fixed my green screen maybe. So happy day. Hello, Gloria, Aaron, Jen, pleased to meet you. Hey. Oh, there we go. So I put an assignment up so you can send me your current models. And the idea is I can look at them, give feedback, and make some adjustments to help further the process along. And then I can send those files back to you. But I have not received any from anybody yet. So I kind of wanted today to be like a help day where I could help you guys out, help you get sped up. And then I would work on texturing Rocket Raccoon after that. If everyone's nervous about that, okay, you'll send one right away. Okay, send it to me. There's an assignment on, there's an assignment, or you can send it, or you can send it here. No, the actual file. So the .ma, and then I need the image files that you reference inside. So that's all I need. Your MacBook is on its server. That's okay. When you get your MacBook fixed, I can look at it. And like I said, as long as you submit something on Monday, you can always work on it more over the semester, which isn't a long time. I think Monday is day 7. No, screenshots. No, I was going to actually open up Maya files. So I gave some instructions. So one thing to do is make sure over here, I'm going to show you my, so here's the recent Rocket Raccoon. Should still be unwrapped nicely. But make sure you go to Edit, Delete All by Type History, and that will clean up the file. So I'm using version 2018 of Maya, and I want to make sure I can open it. Yeah, so I'm hoping for the first hour to go over some of your the polygon counts. So they're up here in display, polygons. Oh, sorry, heads up display, poly count. We'll write it in here. Aaron, I'm here to help. Send me what you have, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to help get it, show you a few things to help speed you up. My goal, like I know everybody's a beginner, so my expectations are, I have no expectations. I am here to serve you. I'm here to help you. Okay, and then we're going to texture this bad boy. I'm so excited to get to the textures. Yeah, let's see what we have. Let's see if I have any. All right. Hey, we've got one. Okay, Gloria, great. Did you not have a side view? It's fine. Oh, it looks like you do. So I'm going to try and open this up as a .mb, Gloria, but I may have to have a .ma, which if you do a save as, you can save it as a .ma, but we'll give it a shot.
having family cookouts in the kitchen. Now, get ready to go. Go on a real vacation. Take
Dun, 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 dun,
or at GoRV.com.
Streaming July 3rd on Disney Plus.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hamilton.
$10 founding father without a father. Experience the journey. By working a lot harder. The dream.
those are just screenshots. Do you have the actual reference image? Could you send me the actual reference images that you used in the file? Not screenshots. And you can even message me. I'm on Discord if that's easier. And actually, that'd be easier altogether. There you go. Thank you. Perfect. I just saw in Discord. Let's see if I can open them up. So why is it not showing up? Oh, I looked in the wrong one. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, perfect. Does this look right? Okay, you've submitted on Canvas. Perfect. So let's take a look here. So right now it's at 2,400 tries. So extremely heavy, right? So this is pretty good, and it's pretty cool that you've merged this in. But I don't think we have to do that. So I'm going to start adjusting a few things. So this is all one object now, which these balls and everything are. We don't need it to be quite yet. So we're gonna do a few adjustments because we're gonna have to. This is not the version. Do you want to send me a new version then? Okay, that's the new one. Okay. So this is Kane 000. That's the right one. Very not sure. What? Come on, scenes. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, 1,700 tries. That's much better. So here we have, okay, was this all going to be hair? Okay. Okay, so we need to do a little bit. So it looks like you tried to delete edges, but they didn't quite delete the way you wanted. So we're going to have to do a little bit of repair work here. So I have two options. One, I could just kind of delete it and try it over, or do some repairs. See the green part here, that's fine. That's just where it lost its texture. We can fix that. But we need to do a little bit of work, but it's not too bad. The hands are nice. And we want to round out the body a little bit. But first I'm going to make sure, is this the right version? Oh, that's not the version as well. Okay. I need the right version. You just sent another one? Okay. Okay, we will try. We will try again. That's okay. Figure it out. Okay, here we go. Kane, this is my file, .mb. Sounds good. All right, third time is a charm. Third time is a charm. Hey, pretty. Okay, look at that. That is much better. Okay, we're looking at 1,700 tries, so we need to reduce this quite a bit. So, but some of the things, I'm trying to figure out why. It doesn't look as heavy as it is at all. So I'm trying to figure out where they're all coming from. Could be partly down here. What we can do is select by faces and see. Okay, so that is 400 triangles. The head is 700. Legs are 600, so that would be why. So we need to do some reduction. Oh, one of the things, let me show you something. So if you delete an edge without going to delete edge, so if you hold down shift, right click, there's this delete edge button. That will delete the edge and the vertices. If you just hit the delete button, watch this. You have all these floating vertices that stay in the scene. So even though I don't have an edge here, Maya still underneath the hood is treating this like it's called an n-gon. It's a polygon with more than 4 sides. So if you look at this, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, which means it's at least 1, 2, 3, 4 polygons. So it's double the size it should be. So the simple way to do this, and this is going to mess up your profile a little bit, but that's okay. If I marquee over the whole thing and just now hit delete, it will delete all those floating vertices. And immediately your model goes down to 1,200 tries. So almost to the level we need it. What we need to do is just adjust the face. But really, even with removing those, it's not too bad. The other thing I'm going to do is delete half the model so we can model in symmetry. Sure we didn't go over to delete something we don't want to. And this one is kind of interesting. So I'm going to have to add something here, I think. Got a couple extra floating faces there that aren't doing anything. We're going to tie this neck in. All right, so this is 652. So this isn't bad. This is actually pretty good. We're in good shape. We're in really good shape for this model. For the hair, you had asked me before about the hair, okay? So what I would do with the hair is actually just model, because none of it's really flowing out, we could just texture all this hair and just paint it. We'll just paint it so it looks like hair. Because it's not really flowing out into any weird shapes, it's really just still a big sphere. So we'll keep the head as a big sphere. So some of this I'm going to adjust, like this ears kind of had a heart attack. So if you look, just this polygon is 13 triangles. There's some floating stuff up here. We'll get it all adjusted. We'll fix it all. Nice thing about polygons is you can just delete them and then rebuild them. Makes life easier, kind of. Okay. And then let's just make ourselves lives easier. We can just scale this thing down. So we'll do this, and I'll show you what we'll do. We'll get it fixed. Okay. So while we're at it, let's duplicate special then. Some more floating stuff down here. I'm going to hold down D and X and snap it right there. Where's my duplicate special thing? Oh no. It's not showing my box. Oh, there it is. It's hiding over on my other monitor. Okay. Duplicate special, apply, perfect. Look at that, it's beautiful. We'll get it all fixed up. Grab some extra faces over here, delete those. Get them fixed. Maybe. Yeah, Interesting. Okay, it's fine. VTuber, how you doing, my friend? Okay, so let's look at this. So one of the things I want to do right off the bat is I want to match the face shapes. So since I deleted a bunch of it, it kind of changed. So my question here is, will you be offended if I just create a whole new mesh for this? So since this is such a nice, beautiful round shape for this head, it would be a lot easier for me to just recreate it fresh, honestly. And then we can keep it very low poly. So you're gonna kill me, but I'm gonna wipe it clean. That was just duplicated. So I'm gonna start fresh on the head. We're just gonna create a cube, and this is just like we did with the gumdrop dude. Same type of deal. Except for it's easier because this is a nice cube. Right? So one of the things I could adjust is, she really shouldn't at this point. No, I'm gonna keep it round, and then we're gonna put it right back into where I want it. From this side, it's pretty round too. There's our new head, it's done. It's done. All right, head is done. Okay, let's move on. This is now Minecraft, so we're good to go. We're good to go. You just paint that, paint her face on it. Okay, we'll smooth it. So we just hit it, mesh smooth. We'll just smooth it once. And we'll keep this just as simple as possible as long as we can. Just go into vertice mode, scale it up. So that's feeling pretty good. The one thing I can do now is shape it to the head shape. So the top is round, this side kind of comes in. This will be the chin. At least I think it will be. And then the head kind of dips in a little bit here. We'll keep it round as we can for the moment. Now you can see the whole head needs to scale in. The top stays pretty wide. Okay, then we'll scale in the cheeks. These are the cheeks. Okay, so already, Hisoka-kan, thanks for the follow. Okay, already it's looking closer. The chin, obviously, is not so much. Let me see what it looks like in the front view. Yeah, the chin, not so much, right? VTuber, thanks for the follow. It's a follow train! Hey, everybody. Okay, so really, this is not too bad. This is not too bad. It's a little bit wonky, but let's see. Let's take it a little bit further. Short train. Hey, I'll take any kind of train. Okay, this is not bad. And smooth, really, look at this from a distance. This would look like her head. You could paint all the colors on it, and it would be fine. But let's smooth it one more time, and then we can figure out what I want to get rid of from there. So we'll smooth it once more. And that, I think, is looking even better. So every time you smooth it, it kind of shrinks it a little bit. So I'm going to scale it out. But because I think we scaled it pretty well in the first place, I think it'll maintain the shape we want pretty well. If you look at it from the side view, it's looking pretty dang good around the hair. And all we need to do is adjust it here for the face. And we'll fix it. Fix it as needed. I think this is where the hair would go. And I want to leave this like kind of as low poly as I can. And tweak it where we need. Let's see how it looks from the side. It's looking okay. I actually think some of this should taper in a little. Okay, and now the only thing I would add is maybe some detail for the nose. I'm gonna look here on the side where the nose is, and I'm gonna cut in a little bit of detail. This is where I want to add the nose, and then I can leave it from. So still kind of high poly, we're gonna reduce it. VTuber asked where he got the photos. One of my students got them, so it wasn't me. Found them, I believe, on the good old internets. Okay, so this will be where the nose will come out. Just gonna grab that nose. Because this is low poly, detail is going to be small. But there, as a low poly image, you'll be able to paint the nose on and the face. And she should look pretty good. She should look, that look should look, you can put in the shadowing and the, like I say, the tonal values of the hair, make it feel like the light's bouncing off it. It'll look pretty good. The size of the side view is smaller than the front view. Right, so it needs to come up a little bit. So you can pick one of the sides to go from. So that's where we need to decide. Do you want to match the side or the front? Because they obviously both don't match up. So we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave that. And then I'll let you tweak it if you want to. But for low poly, that looks pretty darn good. Yeah, the side view is smaller than the front view. What you gonna do? You know? I mean, we could just move this up. If you want to match it closer to the front view, you would just do something like that. And you look at it from the front. So this would match more of the chin shape. But it's so darn close. It's so darn close. I think you just have to decide how much you're willing to fight for it. But that once again, that is the issue with low poly modeling. Is you have to give some of it up. Okay, for the neck. So I always like to start with the round shapes. We can keep this, this torso like it is. We can probably save some polygons here. We don't need these shorts. They're inside there. It's okay that you have them, but one of the problems, I'm gonna get rid of some of these. One of the problems really quick is like this leg is fine, except you have all this geometry that isn't doing any good for you. So what we're gonna do, fix some of it. Like these need edge loops all the way down. Multi-cut tool, that one doesn't have it. So we want to round out these legs, so we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna select these by face right now. Scale them in. You might as well, if you have the geometry, you might as well have it, utilize it. Rounded shape. So what I would have done in the first place was just use a cylinder in the first place. But just using the geometry that you have, we can make them feel round. See? Now that leg is beautiful. It's nice and round. Oh my goodness. The shirt doesn't have any extra loops, so it would just stay the same. So we'll just leave it like that. Yeah, this top part, the same thing. You have this edge loop right here, which means we can round out the whole thing a lot more. And this, since you've modeled this already, what I would consider doing is moving it up into more of an A pose. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. What I'm going to do actually is cut it off. And we'll sew it back on. Okay, so now the entire arm should be cut off. Hope it's not. See if I can. Oh, we can do it. There it was. That's where it was tied on. So here's what we'll do instead. Totally going to mess up your model. Apologize. Apologize for anything I'm about to do. Please don't be mad. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of these by the vertices. Move my pivot point up to the shoulder here. And then rotate the whole thing out to go more of an A pose. And that'll give me a lot more control here. Then I can just like the append tool. So we can leave that low poly, but now we have things like this that I can really round out the shirt because you have the geometry for it already. And she will just look so much better, more rounded shape. This one. And I'm going to do the same thing with the shorts she's wearing, these faces. Just tuck those in. Like so. The legs underneath, they still have if I double click the face, leg, hit Shift I, and you can see it still has this cap on it. Those cost money. They don't cost money. They cost polygons. And if we want to go really cheap, just tuck those right up. And these can cap off, extrude the edge, merge to center, boom. Just paint those a color and okay, so let's work on the ears a little bit. Yeah, it is. It feels like magic sometimes. So these ears I kind of destroyed, so I'm going to do a new one. Sometimes it's just as easy to redo it. And this I'm going to do similar to what I did the head. I'm just going to start with a cube. Just starting with that simple box shape. Then I know it can just be as cheap as I can. And partly I just did the same thing with Raccoon. So that's why I kind of know exactly what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to expand this out. Look at that. The head, this is interesting. So the head looks very different from this side than the side view here. Because here I'm matching it up perfect. But yeah, just like that, the head, I think the head as a whole moves up on the front image. That's why it looked thinner. So you just pick which one you want. Because I actually think she looked better like this. But when I give the model back to you, you can do whatever you want. But in the front view, you'll notice the entire head is moved up further. So this is where it should be. So it actually does match up. It's just it's up higher in the front view. This bunny ear, I'm going to put one edge loop in it. If flexes out like that, let's see. From the side view, I'm just gonna eyeball this, but I want it to taper in a little bit and then hang out a little bit on that side. Okay, so now I'm gonna smooth it once. Actually, before I smooth it though, honestly, you could leave it like that. You could almost leave it like that. But if you want it to look more like the ears, you can do something like that. And just like with the raccoon, I don't actually need all this. I could delete that, and that makes sense. Die split tool. Let's do that. Leave that side like that. And at this point, honestly, if we want to go really low, oh, I'd probably adjust some of this. Maybe, so we could either do this. Oops. And actually, let's do this. We could do something like that. That's at least much cheaper. Probably, yeah, keep that. Cute ears. Then let's take this head. Neck, you have this extra edge here. Not sure what's going on. It's kind of messed up. This is some extra polygons that are just hanging down there, causing you grief. It's causing you extra polygons. We're just going to use this. We're just going to fix it. It's okay. maybe. Let's see. Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, so let's this one over here. The whole thing we can scale.
Max bundles all of HBO, together with even more movies, series, plus new Max originals. That wasn't a joke.
We'll keep that.
Comedy too. Start your free trial now. Find out more at hbomax.com. HBO Max, where HBO meets so much more. Free trial is for new customers only. Restrictions apply.
Lovely. There we go. There we go. Isn't that looking better? Okay. We can match that up to the reference, which way different. So that's because we moved the head up to match the other one. This is the side view. Just gonna go with this ear goes actually up front a lot more. Doesn't have to be perfect. Put it where it should go. The neck, yeah, we need to fix the neck. Let's match this up. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's see if we can get away with a lot less faces on that. Sake of poly count. Okay, we'll stretch that up. And then anything that looks wonky, we'll just fix. So every time we make an adjustment, we go back and say, is everything okay now? Everything is not okay. Everything is not okay. We need to fix some stuff. This could be a... Okay. Ray Tivo, we are helping. It's actually he, I apologize. So he is doing pretty good now. So let me ask you, Gloria, is that very helpful? Is it, if I pass it on back to you, do you feel like that is a good spot to continue? Okay, so I'm gonna hand it off back to you and I'll let you work on it, but I think we're a lot closer. Same, the shoes aren't bad. So if you notice, we are at 565 triangles. So you might have to reduce it a little bit more, but really you're not bad. You're maybe at 1100. And honestly, I would be okay with that. 1100 tries, between 1000 and 1100, you're okay. And that's about what this is at. But you'll notice now we're getting much more rounded shapes. He is feeling a lot less boxy. The legs are nice and round now. You were 90% of the way there. It was just tweaking and making sure we had nice arcs with your vertices. So I'm gonna hit save on that. And I'm gonna send it back to you. Dun, 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 dun. Got some chill music going on. Gloria, I see you in the chat. Let's send this back your way. Okay, who was next? Oh, we've got 3 in here now. Sweet. Okay. So Aaron, you're up next. Ironman.ma. Do you have the reference images for him? I need the images you're using on the image planes. Can you get those to me really quick? And you can just send them to me on Discord. As well as Chaiwan, I don't have. Looks like you only shared the .mb. I need the image files too. So if you noticed on the last one, I was able to open up the file and the image files just were associated. So I won't be able to see them if I don't have. Show you. So for Iron Man, so I can open up your file, but I cannot see your reference images. Looking pretty cool though. Pretty high poly, but he's coming along. I'll show you. We'll spruce this guy up. I'm a big Iron Man fan. Oh, there they are. Sweet. And then whoever's file, buddy. Okay, and then who? Oh, this looks like Woody. I'm assuming this is Woody, so I need Woody's images too. These are all smooth, so we don't want to have. We never want to have the models on smooth. Send me that one. We'll get you guys squared away really fast. Woody should be super easy to get started. And if one of you could do me a favor, could you ship me a nice bowl of bingsu? Got your pictures. I just had to save these to Discord for me. It's so much easier to get them here than Canvas. But this is good for us. Bingsu is the best thing ever. You'd ship us Bingsu to school for me. You're the best, Aaron. All right, you know what? I'm coming next year. Next year I'm coming, and nothing's gonna stop me. I don't care what kind of pandemic we have. I'm coming. Okay. So hopefully the pictures of Woody are coming soon. There's Iron Man. Old Iron Man. Oh. Yes, we got the Woody pictures. We are cruising now. Awesome. No, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Okay, let's see how fast we can do these. I'd like to at least do a little bit of rocket painting tonight. Oh, we're only an hour into class though, right? Oh, we're doing fine. If this takes 2 hours, that's fine. Okay, we're in good shape because we only had 3 submissions. Okay, so let me save the Woody files so we know where those are. Where are you, Woody? Woody! Okay, there we go. Copy and paste. Cut and paste. Okay. This is awesome. Okay, got those in there. We got those in there. So let's look at Iron Man. So if I can at least get you started in the right direction, it'll be a help, right? Get a little bit further along. You guys are doing great. You guys are brand new. You're all brand new to the world of modeling. You're doing great. Where are my images? Dag nabbit. I put them in the right file. Iron Man front. And look at this. Look at this work I have to do. It's because I've opened it up already. That's the problem. It's because I've opened up the file already. So I get punished for it. Put them in there. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to try and do this with saving as much of your work as possible. The issue is there are way too many edge loops here. Dove soap. Is yours the Woody character? So there are just way too many edge loops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab many of them, and I'm going to delete this one up here. Just going to reduce it. So I'm going to try and reuse this. Although I think 6-sided would be okay. I'm going to save this. I'm going to move it off to the side. I don't know what this circle's doing here. NURB circle, were you using that? We're going to get rid of it. Sorry. So we're going to start. So I like to start with basic cylinders because those are rounded shapes. So they're shaped more like a leg anyway. So even though he is mechanical, he still has very human shapes. So we're going to stick to mostly a human-esque model, and he's just going to be bulkier. And then you're going to paint him as if he had armor, if that makes sense. So we could add some bulk here to the forearms. The shoulders are just going to poof out a little bit higher than they normally would. Other than that, he's a human with no neck. He doesn't really have a neck, which is actually kind of nice. that's less to model. So he's not too bad. So I'm going to make this this cylinder. I'm going to make it a 6-sided cylinder because that's very low poly. It's two less sides than an 8. So that's what we're going to do. We'll go to our channel box here. We'll scroll this down to 6. So we're just going to use a 6-sided cylinder to do his legs, and we're just going to do this as fast as we can. And then I'll send it to you, and you can do the rest. But we'll at least get him a good start. So this is going to be his leg here. Oops. So I'm just going to go, okay. So this, I'm just going to hit Control H and hide the old leg, just in case you still want it. But we're going to move this up to the hip area. Probably right under the butt in just a moment. But we're actually going to sew this into his top half because it just seems like a good idea. And so we're going to hit the ankle and the upper thigh with this. And now we'll just fill in the blanks in between. So we know he needs a knee. So we'll add a knee right here. I thought I said to add an edge ring split. There we go. So here's his knee. And we'll bend it up like knee size. And now, just because I want to do my due diligence, we're going to go to the front view and make sure it matches up, which it does not at all. I should be ashamed of myself. So his legs are wider from front to back, which is really weird, but that's Iron Man for you. And so we'll just scale this in horizontally and match his knee size, which is right there. And his thighs. Mr. Thunder Thighs over here. Okay, we'll just slide that over like you do. And so this is a skinnier version of him, but he's starting to, it's a start at least. Marucha Bai, how you doing, my friend? Okay, so we're gonna add, so I'm gonna go ahead and add and insert an edge loop up here. And I'm gonna insert one right here. And I think I need 2. I just have a feeling that his leg is going to need an extra love because he's a mechanical man. And that matches up pretty darn well. So I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and say I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, let's look at the side view. And now you can see where I just need to adjust it. We'll just slide it on back. Slide it on back. And that matches the front really well. And to match this back part, we'll just slide it up. I don't know if I have enough polygons to do this part, but I'll show you what I can do just to make, and then we'll decide. I think we can probably reduce some of it later. And then you see this piece right up here, so we can add a piece there as well in just a moment. But for now I'm feeling pretty good about that leg. What do you guys think? I am Iron Man. So what I was saying right here, where you have these mechanical bits, what I'll do is I'll go in and do some elective surgery on that. So this is where Iron Man needs the calf implants to make him look more buff. So we'll just add a triangle there and grab that edge, and we'll go to the side view really quick. And we'll just taper that in. And boom, bada bing, bada boom. We're matching it up so well. Really, I could put one up here too. And maybe I will, and then we'll just have to reduce it later. But I think we can keep him pretty low poly though, because he is Iron Man after all. Okay, so here's the second leg bit. We call it a leg bit because it just makes sense. Okay. And now that is feeling like his arm. Okay, so let's look at the upper thigh. We had this nice little part that extrudes out. So what we could do is just, what the heck, let's just extrude it out since it does extrude out. And we'll just extrude it in just a pinch. Bring that in, and this may be something that we remove later and just try and not use extra geometry for, but for now, let's leave it. In fact, let's reduce it up here too, just to keep our poly count down. We'll have it absorb back in up here. We hit Shift I, and I want to just merge these vertices against each other, so we keep that 6-sided pretty much up there. If I hit G, I reuse that same tool. It gives a little bit extra geometry to the top legs. I extruded the upper thigh, my friend. No, I'm not an extrude modeler. I'm a Frankenstein modeler. So there's the new leg we've added. I am Iron Man's leg. What's nice is his feet are actually really simple too. So why don't we just start that party while we're at it too. So I'm just gonna highlight that whole bottom leg and extrude the whole thing down. And then, just like magic, we'll just match that shape. Zip, zip, zip. Let's look at it from the front. It's good that you have really nice reference images. Makes our job so much easier. You thought I was pulling your leg? Ba-doom, boom, shh. Yeah, let's extrude this back down again, yet again. Double click on that edge loop, extrude, push down, zip, zip. And this little notch right here, not worth modeling on a low poly character. So I'm going to flatten the whole thing out. Flatten his foot down, and not worth it down here either. Maybe we'll talk about it later, but I don't think so. This is actually dead simple. Okay, so we have the front of the foot here. This will just extrude out like that. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we'll just use our magical append to polygon tool. Your best friend in a pinch. Boom, boom. Hit Y to reset it. Boom, boom. Oh no. Okay, let's try it again. Select one edge, select the other edge, append to polygon. It's been appended. Now let's do the front of his foot. We're going to extrude. I just said I wasn't an extrusion modeler, and here I am using extrude like it's going out of style. Let's match the front. That's the beauty of Iron Man, is he's so boxy. So I remember you asked if Iron Man was too complicated. Nay, he is not too complicated. Actually, he's easy, which is the nice thing. If you had to do him high poly, it would not be as easy. But as a low poly model, he's not crazy difficult. Okay, so let's make sure this looks like a boot. A boot. Always takes me a little while to do feet because they can be confusing for me. They can be confusing. So they taper in. Oh boy, here I am making a big deal out of it. Can only imagine what old occasional players thinking, but that's not too bad. Next gen ready. You know what? When this is all painted, it will look next gen. We're going sub 1,000 triangles here, but we're making it look like it's like 30,000. So so a leg like this, high poly, would take occasional player roughly 2 to 3 months to model out and then bake on. We're doing this in an hour. That's the beauty of it. That was 15 minutes. Okay, so let's look at this lovely man's torso. Okay, I'm only hitting Control H. I'm not deleting it. Okay, don't get mad at me. Okay, don't shoot the messenger. But let's do this. So his leg is looking dope. That is a serious Iron Man leg. Okay, so let's, how should we start this? I think I'm going to use a box. I think I'm going to cube model this guy for its torso. And before you get upset with me, occasional player, I'm going to show you why. You see, does that foot look okay? It actually looks pretty dang freaking good. Like if I wanted to tilt it out just slightly, like I totally could. Give him like a little bit of a duck foot. There we go. Oh my gosh. Kills me. Oh, you just have to go in and make those minor tweaks because they change it so well. And I think I'm having too much fun. I'm enjoying this too much. I like modeling. Oh my gosh, I need to teach more modeling classes. I've been teaching design classes primarily the last couple of years. Somehow I've been pigeonholed into that. And this is my lifeblood right here. I need to do some modeling classes every once in a while. Oh, look at it! Look at how weird his chest is. He's got a weird body. He's a weird dude, this Iron Man fella. Okay, let's start box modeling here. Okay, so let's do this. We're just gonna move some verts around. Scooch him into position. Here's his buttocks. And I'm gonna do another one. And another one here. Occasional player, welcome to the party. And this is the S curve of the back. It's pretty common in humans. Okay. Okay, I'm doing this only so I can smooth it and reverse it. His shoulders will come later. You can see here where his manly hips come in and come out here where his buttocks is. And we're just gonna tweak some of this. Yes, now I'm filling it. See that? It's boxy. This is like the original Iron Man when he was all made of like he was built in that cave. Now we're gonna make him new Iron Man. So we're gonna hit mesh smooth. Kaboom! Oh, slender Iron Man. Good job, buddy. Okay, so now we have to go in and fix. Do some repairs. Okay, we're gonna move this up. Boom! Yes, I like the way this is going. And I am talking way more than I should. I think it's creepy, but I can't help myself. I'm gonna keep doing it. Now we just taper all this beauty in like you do. Let's grab this section here, scoot that out. And we're gonna do a full sail maneuver here. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. I think we're onto something here, folks. Okay, let's look at it from the side. I have a feeling, yep, we're gonna have to do a lot of adjustments here, especially in the gluteus maximus area right here. We do want to make sure that this is called the iron butt right here. And we want to make sure it's nice and round, okay? Fahrenheit 350 says I'm always creepy. Yeah, but you're enjoying yourself, aren't you? Okay, nice and round. Let's taper this stuff in like so. I like the way it's going. I like the way you work it, yo diggity. Okay, here we go, here we go. Here we go. This I could add a dip, or we just leave it and just say, you know what, enough's enough. Why mess with perfection? Am I right? Okay. So look at that dude. He's all, hey, yo. Okay. And this is where the legs will go. Now, I do want you to pay attention closely right here. This spot right here. This section is called thigh gap. He does have a thigh gap, which means I need to have a little bit of geometry. For lack of a better words, this is human anatomy underneath the crotch to give some thigh gap. If the two legs connect right together, then the thighs connect. That is not Iron Man. He does not have. That is not how his legs work. So he wants thigh gap. He's going to have thigh gap. Emphasize the P on that gap. Okay, there you go. You're welcome, Fahrenheit. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. I am just going to decide how I'm going to do this. I'm going to extrude this thigh gap off the leg here. Like you do. I don't want to offend anyone here, but this looks awesome. Okay, thigh gap achieved. We'll shore it up. So, okay. Okay, he will have his thigh gap. And then simply put, we're going to delete half of him. Badoom, ching, goodbye Iron Man's body. And now, Because he has thigh gap, we need to add a extra edge loop here. And then we'll figure out the rest, I hope. And one around the gluteus maximus. Okay, and let's see if we can connect. Let's make a love connection here to the legs. And then we will come back, see what we need to fix. Why did these match up so perfectly? I swear, it's weird. It's like I've done this before or something. I don't know. I can't explain it other than it's kind of like serendipity. Okay, so let's mesh combine. And we will then highlight the vertices and merge them together. And I am going to soften the edges. Okay, and there we go. Coming along. So on edges like this, if you don't want them all softened, I can make them look more robotical by selecting some of these edges like these. And saying mesh display harden edge. Okay, and that leaves those a hard edge if you want them. See how on the legs right there. So Fahrenheit 350 says, what your students should know at this point is that Iron Man is your favorite character. This contextual understanding helps with understanding your excitement and passion over this. Okay, there we go. So there's Iron Man, at least up to his torso. And what we're looking at is about 182 tries here. So 400 if you count both. So for the body and the legs, that's pretty cheap. Aaron Noom. Is this your character, Aaron? Okay. I'm just going to Control H the arm again too. Okay. Okay, good. Is this helpful? Is this all making sense, what I'm doing? I don't want to be like busting this out and have you be like, I have no idea what he did. I love having my students try things at the first, and then I'll show you kind of how I would approach it. So I'll send this to you, and you can do with what you will with it. You can scrap it and redo your own, which I highly recommend. If you move it off to the side and kind of match what I did, that's fine too. Okay, but let's eke out an arm really quick for him before we roll this up. So I'm just going to start with the cylinder again because I like that whole 6-cylinder thing we had going on with the leg. It seemed to work pretty well. So we're going to do that for the arm again. Or sorry, as well. And I am tempted, kind of a weird thing, but I'm tempted to leave like kind of a ball shape on the shoulder and just insert it into the torso. I don't know how well that will work, but I think we could do it. Or we leave it all combined as one mesh. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. We're just going to work fast. And then what I'll probably do is just kind of start the head and let you finish it. Here's what we're going to do. Okay. What's cool is the hands are kind of these puffy balls. That sounds terrible. They're these blocky shapes. And what we might be able to do is just kind of insert the fingers into it like a gauntlet because they're not super attached. Since he's mechanical, it may work out okay. But let's try and do it traditionally. Let's try and do a real version. Okay, so let's cut the caps off of these like you do. Okay, and then we are just going to take this. Since we moved the pivot up to the top. Someone had hopped into the chat earlier and asked for any tips with Blender. I don't have any tips with Blender other than the principles with Maya and Blender I think are pretty universal. So anything I'm doing in here in Maya is probably about exactly the same. So here's what I'm doing here. I'm matching up to the lower arm here. And I'm going to model out most of his arm and match up all the shapes on the front and side as best as I can. And then I'm going to rotate it back up just like I did with the other model to get him into T-pose. So I don't have a side view. And so I'm going to assume kind of like with his leg, it's narrower from the front view and wider from the side. I'm going to assume his arms are the same way because that's kind of the way arms are. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to have to do a little bit of guesstimating. because I don't have a side view of his arm. But so I'm going to do the same thing I did with the leg. I'm going to put it to about the thickness that I think it should be at, and then I'm going to add a few edge loops. So I'm not going to add too many, but I'm going to add one here and here. This will be the elbow. We're just going to do the best we can here. And then this will be the forearm. The difference between him and a normal human is this. And so I have to decide, is it worth it to add a big chunk of geometry there? And I haven't decided yet. I kind of think it is, but I don't want to be judgmental. Okay, let's look at this from the side view. And so normally an arm would have the elbow would extrude a little bit this way, and then the arm honestly might kind of turn like this. But my guess is this is Iron Man, so he's got wider arms. More like that. Because he's crazy. He's cray-cray like that. Okay, so what we could do for this, actually, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna do the same thing we did for the leg. And what I'll do is extrude this section like that. And then collapse these edges back in. Snappity snap, snap them back on. And then merge them. So then I have this geometry here to play with. Select those two edges, go to the side view, and then I can make it match up to where I want it to. It's basically magic, but it works. Okay, we'll worry about the shoulder in just a minute. That looks pretty cool though. That looks pretty dope. It looks pretty Iron Man. If I do say so myself. Okay, let's model out the hands while we're at it. Now I'm Iron Man. Okay, let's extrude this. This is basically what we did with the foot, but this is not the foot. This is the hand. See what I mean? His hand kind of comes out in this like gauntlet type form, and then his fingers kind of just pop out of it. So we're gonna guess what that looks like. Could look like a million things. Okay. But I kind of think it looks like that. Only we need to stretch it out like a hand. Something like that. Bada bing, bada boom. I think we're on a roll here, my friends. Okay, so that looks like his hand. Dag nabbit. I am kind of sold on this. Okay. Now we're gonna have to add some fingers. So let's we're gonna fill the hole in this hand. So we'll go to mesh. Where's my tools? Fill hole down here. Boom, it's filled. Okay, and then we're going to use our multi-cut tool. So this is the moment of truth here. This is where I have to decide whether to do things the correct way and add more geometry to do this hand, or if I just do it the fast and dirty way, which I'm gonna think about it. I've decided to do it best of both worlds way. So we're gonna try and do this. Okay, so what we can do is create this. That's gonna cost a couple triangles, and I'm okay with that. And then what I wanna do is I need 4 slots for fingers here. So I'm gonna make some more cuts, and darn it if I'm not gonna make some more triangles. Someone inevitably is gonna hop in chat and say, I never model in triangles. And to that, I'm gonna say, sometimes you gotta. But I'm not gonna argue with you. If you're an incredible, amazing, low poly modeler who can never use a triangle, then you're awesome. Not. Triangles are meant to be used judiciously. Sometimes they're inevitable. Okay, here we go. These are going to be his fingers, maybe. Okay, so I'm told this is helpful. That's great. Okay, so this is going to be a finger. So let's just do this. We're just going to extrude this finger. Boom. I am Iron Man's finger. And how long were these fingers? Oh, that's about right. Scoot this over just a little bit. Other finger. I am Iron Man's other finger. Smooth. Weird. Shrink. Boom. 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 That's a little bit thicker. Okay, so he currently has one birdie finger. What else does he need? A birdie finger? I think that's good enough, right? Okay, Aaron, I'm gonna model part of his hand, and then I'm gonna count. I'm gonna rely on you to do the rest. And you're lucky. I'm having so much fun. Okay, so let's do this. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate this arm, and then I'm gonna sacrifice all of the arm to save one finger. So I'm gonna cut off everything and just keep that finger because I don't want to remodel that. That took a lot of effort to extrude that in the first place. So now if I modify center of the pivot, we're going to line this up to the joint. And this is now going to become all the rest of my fingers. Move this one over, rotate it. Do you remember doing this with the hand model? Except for this is a lot easier because it's so much more low poly. Let's rotate this one over here. Excuse me, I burped. I'm really sorry. That was so rude of me. That was crass and uncalled for. And I apologize. Okay. And the pinky finger, of course, should be shrunk down and rotated in a little bit. It's kind of what it looks like in the reference image, and slid over slightly. Just going to follow the rules of good housekeeping with hands. Keep these rules and keep the rules, because we want this to look amazing. This one, we're going to do the same thing. And then, just like I like to do, I'm going to cut one off and raise it up for the thumb. This is Iron Man's thumb. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be a thumb. Jam it in there. And it kind of bends way in like that. He's just like ready to grip a basketball. Perfect. Look, oh my beautiful thumb time. Oh, except it's clear over there. So maybe it's not perfect. You know what? Nobody's perfect, right? I'm trying here. Don't be mad at me. He really needs to be looking like he's gripping a basketball. That's what he wants to do, and I'm not going to argue with him. Okay, there we go. Oh, yes. Very good, very good. There we go. Okay. Let's plug him in. Let's do this. So we're going to delete these. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we are going to snap them home. Snap. 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 Oop. One. I selected too many. Selected too many. Oh, come on, bud. Snap. 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 There. Snap. Snappity snap. Snappity snap. And then we'll fix some stuff after, or leave it. Okay. Looks kind of weird. Looks kind of weird, but we'll fix it fix it in post in just a second. Wherever it looks weird, we'll fix it. Okay, so let's merge all this together. Mesh, combine, vertice, merge vertices. Okay. So anywhere it looks weird, it's because this is supposed to look like a rounded shape. These are actually supposed to look like this, because I bent it all. And it was very unhappy with what I did. It's okay. this one was supposed to come in. It's supposed to form kind of this rounded shape. That works. That works, my friends. Okay. Oh, look at that. Holy smokes, dude. Iron Man, you got a nice looking hand, bro. Oh, okay. And now this one. We're just going to take this thumb and do major reconstruction. We just don't even care where it goes. We're just gonna glue it right in without. We're just gonna throw caution to the wind and just glue it in there, like that. Okay. And just say, you know what? It looks weird. And I'm not saying I'm excited about it, but let's see if we can fix it. Mesh, combine, bird to see, merge. Yeah. So I actually think the easy way to fix this is just to add one more edge loop here. And then we can move this where we want to. Make it look less wonky. Okay, let's fix the wonk. Fixing, commence. Yes! I think we're doing it. Like it's happening. Okay. Wonk. Wonk has been fixed, at least good enough. Okay, so there is the arm currently. If we want, we can soften the edges on it. Look more round. But boom. That dude is Iron Man if ever I saw one. So let's move the pivot up top. Move it to the center. Now that that's all completely modeled, I don't really want to mess with it anymore. What I can do is this. T-pose. The big thing is it gets that arm out of the way. So we'll put it about where we think it should go. And really, that shape probably isn't going to change that much. So really, I mean, let's do this. Let's do a little extra constructive surgery here. Probably needs a big old honking shoulder, am I right? Something like something Iron Man would be proud of. And then that would attach the body somewhere. And Aaron, your job is to make this all work. And what you would do is something like this, boom, ba-doom. Not telling you this is what you should do, but this is what I would do. Kind of not grab all those vertices like I accidentally did. I would hit Control Z on that, like fast. And then the whole time I would be going da na 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 na. I am Iron Man. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Da na 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 na. Ba da 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 da. Okay, I'm saving this one. Control S, file, save as. And we're going to rename it as Iron Man Remeshed. Remeshed. It's got a new mesh. The head needs love, man. Got to redo the head. Got to redo the head, my friend, and sew it on. But right now, you're looking at 366 tries. So grand total, let's see. So the head, this is efficient, my friend. This is efficient. I mean, maybe it could use another edge loop around the armpit if you were going for like, you know, I don't know. You're looking for something. Okay, so edit, duplicate special, boom. So you're looking at 732 triangles. You still have another 270 you can do that helmet with. You're going to be easily 900 triangles on this bad boy. Like that is low poly magic right there. In fact, you know what? This head, I'm going to do you a favor with this one. Actually, okay, so this is the head you created. Okay. So it's actually not bad. Let me show you a couple tricks here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select some of these and edge ring and collapse. I might even collapse that whole thing. We're going to just delete that edge. We're going to delete this edge. We're going to delete this edge. This one is a little cray-cray. Make it bigger. This one. I'm just kind of curious what kind of magic create out of this. See, that kind of looks like a very, very generic Iron Man head. I say so myself. He doesn't have a neck though. That's what you have to realize. He has this chin that comes out, sure. So mesh, smooth. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Dude, are you seeing this? That was just reducing a few of your edge loops, my friend. Now, oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, dude, no, this is too much. This is too much. Oh, it's killing me. Okay, side view. Oh, it's like magic, dude. Look at that. It's like movie magic. I think even the occasional player can't deny that this is beauty. Okay, look at that. The dude has no neck. So we just moved this headpiece all the way back. I mean, he's got no neck. Let's be honest. Slide that all the way to the back and down just a pinch. This is probably way narrow. So let's unselect that part. Let's do this. Here. Did not. Oh, sir, I do not like that. It's out here. This is the point in the game where you do stuff. Side of the head. Boom. Boom. So that you can whatever you want. Oh, that's not instanced. Okay, I said I would stop, and I'm going to stop. Okay. Okay, the rest is yours, my friend. It's yours. I'm going to save that. Boom, we're going to send it to you. Do with it what you will. And we'll catch you on the flip-flop. Okay, here you go. K1. Aaron, I'm just sending it to you on... Let me message you. How do I message you? Message, there we go. Okay, I'm just going to send it to you on Discord. Okay, so let's check out Woody. You're welcome. Hopefully that was helpful, Aaron. This has been fun. This has been fun. Okay, Mr. Song, are you here? Great. Okay, so let's look at Woody. So the problem with Woody, you started with some cylinders and you have them, they're smooth. Yeah, that you never want to smooth cylinders. Anything with triangles on it, it doesn't look good. So with these, just like with everything we've done, I would actually start with these round shapes. I would definitely use a cube for those. For the neck, we'll extrude that down. A lot of it you could connect. Actually, I would use cubes for almost all of it. Really, he's so low poly. The boots can be their own mesh entirely, and the pants can just tuck into them because that's the way he's kind of created. But I might sew all this together. But let's see. Let's do a little bit of playing around, and then I'll let you work from there. Things like the belt and the buckle, they may look like separate objects, but when you're doing something low poly, I would probably just leave those all as one single mesh. And then something that's dangling like this would just be like a little cube, maybe with a little bit of detail that would be a separate object just appended to it. But most of all, he should be pretty simple. His hands are just like the hands really, they're like human hands. He's got 4 fingers and everything. And see, there's a slight curve to them. So there's a little bit of human attributes, but not as much really. And so let's take a look at him. Let's start with just a cube, and we'll move that up to old Woody's head. And we could even make his hat as a separate object, or we could make it as the same. Either way, his image is not centered. It's going to make our life easier if we can center him as much as possible. Okay, so I'm going to kick on X-ray mode so I can see through this. And he's a nice, simple shape, though. He is not. They don't make him too difficult. This side, his profile is a little different, though. So we can tweak this a little bit. In fact, I might do kind of like we do with Iron Man. I might make one cut into him at drink and split. Simple. He's actually more like the Bean character. Now that I look at him, now that we did this, we can shrink this to match the chin, at least a little bit. And I think this should work. This should work. That's his head right there. His big, goofy head. Okay, so let's hit smooth on that. Okay, so that should look pretty good. That should do nicely. You always have to tweak it a little bit because it shrinks them. But darned if that isn't pretty much where we want to be. We could kind of split the difference between his chin and his jowls so that we can still keep it plenty low poly. But we can just move that right to position. Good old Woody here. Okay, and then for his nose, he needs a nose. I mean, that's kind of one of his defining features. So I need to think about that for a moment. I'll move this hairline piece down or up to his hairline, and we'll just tweak all this stuff so he really matches what he should look like. Bird boy. I am not sure. Something awesome. Okay, this is his lips where they kind of pop out. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do, my friend. So I could just create a nose and just pop it right in. But I think I'm gonna just make it out. I don't know what to do. You know what? We're gonna just go crazy here and model in his nose. First, I'm going to duplicate his head though, because I think I'm just going to use this for his body. Let's see. Yeah, it's just so close to his body. I think we could just use it. wouldn't be hard to like recreate this, redo it, because I'm not sure if what I did with his chin will mess it up, but let's see. I doubt it, but I can just ease it right back in. Here we go. May have been just as easy to. Oh well. We do what we do. We'll just reuse it. Okay, so now he has a body and a face. Keep those two the same. It's interesting how they're pretty much the same shape language. Both of those are the same. His face, I'm going to cut it off and redo it. Bird Boy just asked if I can knife out a nose and pull it out. That is exactly what I'm thinking about doing. We're going to duplicate special. Knife out a nose. I like your terminology. Okay, let's see where his nose matches up to where we want to knife it. So let's see. Yep, so here's what I'm going to do. Let's try this out. Let's try and multi-cut here. And then again, his nose would be about here, and then tweak it from. Let's look into the front view. Yep. We're going to match it about, I think it should be. And what I may be able to do, no, I'm going to keep it here. So these are all quads in one triangle. And then let's pull it out. Let's do what the man says. We're going to start it from here. Let's see what happens. Extrude that out. Oh my goodness. And then just weld some of these back on. So I'm going to use the target weld. Someone was asking about that earlier. There he is, target weld. Just grab these ones and weld them back on. So this is low poly, so we want to keep it as low as possible. My target weld is not doing what I want you to. Oh, you make me so mad, target weld. There we go. And we'll just snap you on. Okay. So it may not be perfect, but it works. I mean, it kind of works. Yeah, yep. I think this is going to do it. Do it well enough, at least. It's low poly, my friends. All right, so we knifed out the nose. We cut it in. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it's a disaster. It works. So now his profile is working. Fahrenheit 350. I agree 100%. Okay, so he's got that. Now we want, you know what? Since we knifed that out, I kind of feel like doing the same thing for his ears. This is so low poly and simple. And now you can just paint the eyes on here. Keep him that simple. You know, if we soften the edges, boom. He just has a nose. That way it helps because if you ever look at his profile, it still reads Woody. From the side, he kind of needs the ears. So we're going to see what we can do. We're going to knife these out too, because that's just such a good way to explain it. Knifing. Okay, so let's follow the ear, and then we'll see what else I need to do. May end up getting expensive if I'm not careful, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on these ears. I want them to be relatively inexpensive. Dang it, stop. Okay, you guys ready? Can we do this? Okay, let's extrude these out. Boop. There's his ears, look at that, perfect. But no, that is not perfect. Now we're gonna snap these ones back on. We're gonna keep it low poly. Merge vertices, and let's now, these are the only pieces we need, I think. We'll just scoot them back in and match them out. So it's weird, the front and side views do not match up at all. So this happens a lot. You just kind of have to decide what is important to you. Because from the front, he's spot on. Or from the side, I mean. But from the front, he's like, he falls short. Sometimes you can split the difference. It really, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much. As long as from one angle he looks right. I'm gonna go ahead and say he looks fine from that angle, so I'll leave him. He's still really low poly, but he has ears now. Depending how much you care about that kind of thing. I could add another one here, but I think at this point, he's pretty good. I might make him a little bit bigger just to make sure that they're worth the time I put into him. But he's got ears now. He's got ears, he's got a face. The Bird Boy said he just started using Blender week for, so he's pretty proud of that suggestion. It was a great suggestion. Okay, so now we need to do the top of his hat. And so my idea is, what I would like to do is not reinvent the wheel. So I'm going to duplicate his head and cut off the bottom half of his face. And this is what I want, the hat looking piece on the top of his head. So if I scale that out just a little bit, and then I am going to do a duplicate special. This is going to be his hat, believe it or not. Okay, so let's match this up to the front view of his hat. And then to the side view. It actually comes down pretty far. It's probably about to there. 3 Bird Boy, thanks for the follow, good buddy. Always appreciated. Welcome to the nonstop party. I am Woody's hat. Okay. All right, Woody has a hat, my friends. Are you guys excited or what? So this is going to cost a little bit of money to do his hat, okay? Because it's going to have 2 different sides. So let's see what we can do here. Let's try and make Woody a hat. So we're going to go mesh, which I think it should be flatter. Like it. Okay, we're going to go mesh combine on these 2 bad boys and combine them. And I'm going to show you why. We're going to combine these and merge vertices. And then what I'm going to do, now I can select this entire edge loop around it. And we are just going to extrude the whole thing out to be the brim of his hat. And this is going to take a little finessing, but I need to have it loop up and down the side. And it kind of goes up around the brim over here. So this is going to take a little work, but I'm willing to put in the effort, you know, if you guys are. So let's adjust some of these. Make sure this one matches here. Okay, and so the side right here, I want to pull all the way up. there. Match this one up here. This one kind of curves down. Does it curve up just on one side or is it symmetrical? I need to see. No, it does it on both. Okay. So what I want to do now is go back to this. Actually, before we do that, insert an edge loop. So I could have done that. I could have done that at any time. It doesn't matter. All right. So far, so good. Edit. Duplicate special. Boom. Boom. Yeah, there's this hat. Now we need to mimic that design. Kind of folds up. Am I right? Same. Doesn't have to be perfect. We just want it kind of close. And then we'll say, you know what? Good enough. Like that. That's good enough for me. Bird Boy says he's preparing to go for a bike ride. Yes, he is. I think he looks pretty good. Okay, so now I need to now I need it to be on both sides. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do mesh combine again, so that I can extrude the entire thing. And merge these vertices again. Oh, not like that, dude. Not like that. Okay, so let's hit Shift I, select the whole hat. I am proud of this hat. I think it looks I think it looks pretty decent. Okay, now I'm going to hit extrude, edit mesh, extrude. We are good, buddy. And I'm going to scale it a little bit and move it down. This is going to actually invert the vertices, but we can fix it. And I'll show you how. So I'm going to scale it down just a little bit. And it inverted them, so now it's inside out, but it's a full meshed thing. So mesh display, reverse. Now it's back to normal. But now you can see it's got the full Monty. It's got full sides on it. So I'm going to select this outer ring and just extrude it out a little bit. This hat goes all the way up inside. I don't need that much geometry though, so I'm going to actually reduce that. So what I'll do is I'll grab these top edges and merge to center. And then I'll just scoot this piece down. So, okay, so there's this hat. Now that can just cap through his head. Like that. And then he has, dagnabbit, if he doesn't have a hat, those little strings that go through it, we're just gonna have to let those go because we don't have time for that. We ain't got time for that. His hair can just be painted on along with his head, and that will match up quite nicely. Okay. So next on the agenda is a neck. And the neck would probably just tuck into the body. But we could probably keep the body as one, you know what? I'll watch this. His neck kind of just tapers up into his head. So I'm going to try and just do an extrude modeling of the torso right up into his neck without doing shoulders. He doesn't really have shoulders. Poor guy. So to do that, oh, I'm messing up. This was never, okay, perfect. This was never separated. Okay, so let's look at him. So to do that, I am just going to extrude this bad boy right up into his head, boom, and delete that. Extrude it right up there, and then I'm going to figure out how to merge that in. This section, I'm just flattening that out and scaling it in just a tidge, and adding a couple edge loops. I don't even know if it has to be that much. This is probably actually okay. I could probably just paint that scarf and everything else on, and just make the scarf symmetrical at this point. And let's look at it from the side view here. Okay, so I might need an extra edge loop. This would just be like a sphere and another little piece of geometry, like a cube. That pretty easy. This is where I want that to go. Okay, let's add. That is him. That's the Woody we love and know. Okay, so now we need to find a way to merge this, and I think we can do it. So that one's there. Going to multi-cut. This is where I want to tie that edge on. Let's make a couple more edges here. Make one here. That one will cut to there. Well, and after we get this sewn on, I'll figure out how to fix this. I just need to do this. And this. Need another. Boom. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Cut that off. Boom, ba-doom. You're welcome, my friend. That is what I'm here for. Here to help. I'm here to help. Okay, we're just gonna snap these onto the neck. This is better than I thought. I didn't need this extra thing here. So snap this over here. Now, maybe I did need that. Dang it, I needed something. This is not working like I wanted it to. That's okay. We can fix it. We can fix anything. You know what? That's not even that bad. That could be worse. Like, I'm not fond of that, but this could be like that bottom of his hair, really. So we could add this bit and have that be where you paint the bottom of his hair. This could work out okay, actually. This one could be slid over. Yep. And then if we delete this, that's still a quad. So we've created that mess just to clean it all up. Let's hit mesh combine. We'll merge it all together. We're just trying to go as low as we can, make every edge loop count. Merge. Display, soften edges. Trying to explain every single thing I'm doing. Look at that action. Holy smokes. That's not too bad. Now let's look at it from the side, and what we can do, like this spot I was talking about, can actually be that edge of brown hair that comes up. We could even move this section is his jaw muscle. So that could be his jaw muscle. This could be his jaw muscle. And we're following his anatomy pretty well. Move that up higher. Yeah, buddy. I like the way this is going. Let's see how that works. You always want to follow the natural form of the body. Okay, let's see what we're looking at here. Let's see what we're cooking with. And let's look at it from the front over here. You can see this, I totally horked that. So we'll have to scoot it out. Yeah, and it's fixed. Not for a low poly, that's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Does that feel like this is not Blender pepperoni. Blender intimidates me too. Okay, let's soften this hat. So we can soften that hat. Now check this out. One of the things we can do too is then we can select these edges and harden them. And then the hat looks a little bit more stiff up top. All right, Song, does that feel pretty good if I hand it back over to you? Feel like you kind of have an idea. So I basically, most of these, because of these simple shapes, I use a cube and just smooth it out once. So before I hand it back, I'll just get started on the arm and leave you at it. And then like the hand itself, if you just follow our low poly modeling tutorial where we did the lowest one, would stick into that hand. Pretty easy, so that you do it exactly like that. It's very, very straightforward. Okay, so this dude, let's, I'm pretty happy with him though. I think he looks, I think he looks like Woody. These ones I kind of moved away from the grid a little bit. We can fix those. Snap his nose back where it goes. Okay. And then if you decide later to, move his hat down a little bit, you can. Get it a little bit more snug on his old noggin up there. And this one, like, he's got a full head, so if he loses his hat, I lost my hat. That's okay. And he'll say, I'm David S. Pumpkins. I'm something different. Okay. Don't do that. That's creepy. I did that for Fahrenheit 350. Okay. Mr. Woody. Okay. Without legs or arms. Okay, here we go. Let's just for funsies, let's see how we would do an arm on him. What's nice is he's already in the T-pose, which is so handy. Handy dandy. Handy Andy. Okay, here we go. And we will just move that out. Such a fun character to model. Next class, I'm going to require everybody to model David Pumpkins. Okay, here we go. Okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready? Here we go. Actually, let's do this. I just wanted an extra. I would start with a cube, probably. Yeah, I would do with a cube or a six-sided cylinder, just like we did with Iron Man. Only they'll be separate objects. I would do it very much like we did the Iron Man boot. It's a very simple shape. A cube's fine, and then you smooth it once. So mesh, smooth. Boom. Now it's that rounded shape, just like you need, except for the end. They always smooth an end weird on these, but you can flatten them out pretty easy. Oop, just like that. And now this is a great starting point, and so we can even bring this over to this arm. These would taper down, and I'm just going to move this to here so we get that tapered shape. You see what I'm talking about? Like that. And then you can add another edge loop right here. And I'm going to have to add 2. Hopefully we can get this guy under 1,000 tries. But if he's a little bit extra, I'll forgive you. I mean, really, this, you know what? I changed my mind. This is an 8-sided polygon. It's going to be too expensive. And really, there was no point at all in using the cube. Maybe you'd use the cube. Actually, I'd use a 6-sided cylinder for the boots as well. It's just going to be cheaper. It's got 2 more sides, and the payoff is not good enough. So I'm going to use a 6-sided cylinder instead. Not worth it. Not worth. I basically just made a cylinder. So I immediately recognized the inefficiencies of it. It just wasn't worth it. So we're just going to use a cylinder. Why make life hard? Life's hard enough without trying to use too many edge loops. Okay. Let's taper these where we want them, like so. Like so. Now I can just go into my edge loop tool, insert edge loop, and I'm just going to put an edge loop in all these spots where I know I want them. Because we just did it. Just went over it once, so why make it harder? Okay, and then these can just scale down to where I want them to be, scale up to where I want it to be, down where I want it to be, down where I want it to be, just like that. Yeah, I'd want cylinders for fingers, or I might even just use, honestly, I might just use cubes, honestly. And then you just pinch down his arms where they pinch down. I mean, that's basically his arms. And here's the beauty, my friend. Once you've done that, right? Control D. Yeah, I'm a professor. I'm actually teaching a class right now. These are student assignments that I'm just helping show how to do some stuff. Dove soap, I'm just going to get you started on the boots and then let you work on it. But I think I would totally just use a 6-cylinder as well on that. I'm a professor of Mario, brother. No, I am a professor. I teach at the University of Utah. The Entertainment Arts and Engineering program, one of the top ranked game schools in the nation, I might add. Not to toot my own horn or anything, or not to toot my school's own horn or anything, but we're a pretty big deal. So look at this. These don't. So this was done at an angle. So these don't. Coolest teacher ever. Thanks. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So I would go more from the side view on this one and then move it up to position. Oh, I would probably handle that bad boy. I wouldn't worry as much about this, like I said, just like on Iron Man, I wouldn't worry about that bit. I'll just get this started for you though. So I've got to decide. That'll work. That'll do. That'll do. Okay, we'll just do it like this. Keep it as simple as possible. Okay, the only thing I might have to do is add some edge loops on here where it's having issues. It's getting upset at me. And then we'll fix them later. That works. And then we can just flatten this out too. We don't need all this. Too much business. Too much stuff. Okay. Except for this part. Oh, check this out though. Check this out. Oh, here's these happy accidents. Like this, oops. This yahoo right here. I'm going to delete you though. That, don't need that. I said I didn't need that, but it's still here to haunt me. Just slide you over there and merge. Can't remember if that one merged to the center. Okay. So what's nice is we have this little happy Rafa Tabakuta, thank you for the follow. Okay, so we have this nice little bit over here. Oh, it's not going to do exactly what I want. That's okay. I thought we might be able to get this little edge here, but I don't want to spend the polygons for that. So I said I was going to start his boot for you, but I pretty much finished it. One of the only things, I might spare the extra couple triangles that it takes to make this kind of arc a little bit. There's a snake in my boot. A low poly character is the assignment. So the assignment is a sub 900 or a sub 1000 triangle character. And here's the deal. If you really want to give this a little bit of flair, I can add an edge loop and then we can take it out later if we decide that it just is not worth it. But then this can flare out a little bit. But Kia, still keep it just as low poly as possible. Well, this one, that doesn't look good. You need to match, buddy. You need to match. There you go. There's a snake in my boot. Okay. I want it to be centered on him. Personally. So, and then if you feel like it should be up higher, like the front image shows, you can do that. That's how I would make the boot. So you asked how I would make the boot. That's how I would make it. Now let me do one more thing to this boot. And this is something we may want to remove. But now it's bothering me that it doesn't have this notch on it. Where the heel goes across. So I kind of want to add it in. The next assignment is going to be a low poly architecture. Okay, so I kind of want it to go like that. Call me picky, but I kind of like that. And then now the boot feels like the heel should be tapered in a little bit. That's how cowboys wear them. He wants to be a proper cowboy. Randy! Randy! Yeah, cowboy booted. He's been cowboy booted. I'm David S. Pumpkins. Okay. Okay, was that helpful? I kind of kept going on it. Dove soap, does that help? Okay, I'm gonna save it out for you. What a fun character to model. Currently, he's 507 triangles, so he's at 1,000, my friend. He's kind of, his hat's expensive. I'm not gonna lie, he's probably gonna be like 1,500 triangles. But he's so darn efficient. I went overboard on his boot. He's still pretty low poly though. Keep him low poly about this level. And all will be well, my friend. Okay, I'm gonna save him out for you.
Hey, it's Becca. You just heard my new single, The Quicker Picker Upper, I created with Bounty. Check out the full song on Bounty Spotify.
You've been camping in your backyard, cycling in your living room. You've been enjoying rain showers in your bathroom, campfires on your TV screen. You've been counting stars and birds from your window and holding family cookouts.
Okay.
Now get ready to go. Go on a real vacation. Take the wheel at your nearest RV dealer or at GoRV.com.
Okay, so I sent the Woody character back to you. Well, it looks like that's all that was submitted. Hopefully that's helpful, and hopefully any of the students who didn't submit one today can go back and take a look at the reviewed projects. I've got about 40 minutes. That means I can get started on texturing Rocket. And that's what I'm gonna do for the last 40 minutes. So I've been sitting here modeling for 2.5 hours. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and come right back. That's okay with you guys. Really fun models. I'm really excited to see these finished with you guys. So here's the one I've been working on. Rocky Raccoon. I just finished unwrapping him, and so now I need to start some texturing today. Hisokakan says, I wish my teacher did my assignment. Yeah, it's a hot debate. So when I was in my undergrad and I was taking modeling classes, I had really good teachers who would sit down and fix my models for me. And it may seem like I'm just doing the assignments, Hisokakan, but I'm not. I'm using these students' assignments as a teaching tool, is the way I look at it. I'm not completely finishing their assignments, but I'm sending that back to them. And I'm using it so other students can see what to do and they can see what to do. And so to me, part of it is struggling to figure out the assignment on your own, but then I'm okay with like a teacher sitting down and showing you exactly what to do on your assignment. I've done this whole Rocket Raccoon assignment online as well for everyone to watch, but it's different when it's your project. So while it does seem like I'm doing the assignment for them, it's both. I'm also they're very attentive and watching what I'm doing, so it helps. So Jen Sean says, I'm confused where to find for the count of the triangles. So it's up here. If you go to display, heads up display, poly count, it shows right here you've got Vertices, edges, faces, tris, and UVs. Tris is the important number. This first number right here that says 1000, that's all the triangles in the entire scene. So if you have any extra, thanks Alex. So if you have any extra objects in your scene, they're gonna count on this try count. So for me, the way to do it is if you select your entire model and you look on the second display number, that is how many tries are in the object you have selected, which for this scene, the only polygons I have in the scene are my model. So if I marquee over him, it's showing 1000. And my goal was to get this rocket raccoon under 1,000 triangles. And I did it. And for anyone watching, it means I had to turn his hands into mitts, which I was very unhappy about, but I'm okay with it. So he's fairly low poly. Okay, I'm gonna take a 5 to 10 minute break and go get some water and walk around for a minute. So if anyone stops by, welcome to class. And to those of you who I updated your models, that was a lot of fun. If any of you in the class didn't share your models, that's okay. Hopefully me showing you me go through the other students' projects will help kind of give you an idea and help that you needed. If this were an in-person class, days like this are important because on days like this, for anyone watching, what I would do is actually, these would be called one-on-one days, where it's a lab day, everybody's just sitting at their desks working on their projects, but I would actually go from desk to desk and sit down and do exactly what I'm doing now with each student and help update and show them how I would approach their model. What's nice about Twitch in this format though, is that everybody gets to see me do that, not just the one student I'm working with. And then it's recorded on a VOD as well. So they're able to actually go back and review what was done and get help there. I shared it with you on Discord. Tell me if you didn't see it. I sent you a private message. Oh, cool. You found it. Okay. I'll be back in just a minute. Stay cool. Stay in school.
listen to your summer rewind. Time for your summer rewind. We've made you a new playlist featuring your old summer playlists. Brought to you by Hamilton. Streaming exclusively July 3rd on Disney+.
Hey Spotifyers, click or tap the banner to listen to K-Club Party. Let's party with your favorite K-pop dance hits. Brought to you by our friends at Samsung and the Galaxy S20 Plus 5G BTS edition available for a limited time.
You've been camping in your backyard, cycling in your living room. You've been enjoying rain showers in your bathroom, campfires on your TV screen. You've been counting stars and birds from your window and holding family cookouts in the kitchen. Now, get ready to go. Go on a real vacation. Take the wheel at your nearest RV dealer or at GoRVing.com.
All right. So we have about 15 minutes left. Seems I've got a little bit of time, at least to block out some colors on Rocket Raccoon here.